It's been a minute since I've done one of these reactions, but we are back with another music reaction, and if you can tell by the title, we're going to be reacting to and breaking down the opening and endings of the new anime from Disney, and that is Twisted Wonderland. And I got to react to the entire show. It's right here on the channel, and if you want to see the full uncut reactions to those reactions, you can check it out over on my Patreon. I really dug it, as you know, I was pleasantly surprised by Twisted Wonderland and like how it expands on Disney lore, especially with the villains, and like how the characters in Twisted Wonderland are somehow tied to those characters, and I really found that very fascinating. And like basically the world of Twisted Wonderland and all the characters, and it was a pleasant surprise nonetheless. But the one thing I never got the chance to do is to react to the opening and the endings of Twisted Wonderland, so I'm very excited to be doing that. And like I've done in my past music reaction videos, we're gonna break this down from a music production perspective. So let's get things started with the opening of Twisted Wonderland. Alright, so you got a lot of guitars. Ooh, alright. It's like a synthesizer violin layered on top of each other. Alright, there's like a lot of dance beats in there. Oh, alright, there's a lot of violins in here. Ooh, alright. Oh, I love like those dance like bits in there. Like over the guitars and everything. Alright, hear a lot of drums. They're like really sped up. Alright, now they're slowing it down. Oh, so it's building to like the chorus. Alright. A lot of different tempo changes in here. Ooh, alright. Alright, so there was a lot going on like within the just 30 seconds of this opening. There's like a lot of guitars, there's like dance beats, violins, and I love like how they're like layered on top of each other, like with the vocals and everything, and like all the different, you know, pitch changes in there. And you know, I really found that very neat. And you know, this is something way different than any anime openings I've ever seen. And you know, this feels like an anime opening in some ways. So, you know, they really nailed it on this one, and I'm talking about Disney in general. Like, this really gives you the feel like this is an anime, and, you know, the song screams like an anime opening, and, you know, there was a lot going on, like, in, like, most anime openings. There's, like, a lot going on, and, you know, that's what the case is with this one. So, we're going to see, like, how this leads into the chorus. Ooh, alright. Alright, it's like the same as the... oh. Alright, there's like different pitch changes there. Oh, there's a lot of pitch changes. Alright, there's another pitch change in there. Alright, so they put like a little reverb in there, as you know, this is like the ending of the song right there. Alright, a lot of violins. Alright, so that is the opening of Twisted Wonderland, and, you know, I found this to be, like, very catchy, and, you know, it's got, like, a lot going on in there, especially, like, there are a lot going on in there, and, you know, I really love, like, how they showed all the different characters from, like, all the different houses in there, and, you know, I found it to be very intriguing, and, you know, this makes you, like, if this was, like, in a nightclub, like, you know, the place would go crazy if they played this, because it has that kind of feel to it, and you know, they add all these different elements in there, and you know, it's very intriguing nonetheless. So yeah, that's like a pretty dope opening. So we're going to move on to the ending of Twisted Wonderland, to ending theme. So let's see what the ending theme has in store for us. Ooh. Alright, there's a lot of snares going on there, and I really love like the kaleidoscope ending in there. Alright, there's a lot of synths in there. Oh, alright, so like there's a lot that builds up to the song. Like there's a lot of snares, like ba-da-da, like basically like marching band type of snares, like basically when you're commanding an army, and you know that's exactly what it sounds like. And there's a lot of like heavy synths that go bum bum, and it's like all in different keys, so like it goes like up an octave and down an octave, and you know that is pretty cool nonetheless. And yeah, I love like how it feels like a military type of vibe, but it has like this synth dance like sound to it, so it seems very intriguing nonetheless. So I can't wait to see what the rest of this song has in store for us. Alright. It's up the tempo down a little bit. Alright. Like all the drums are like on reverb right now. Like you hear a lot of kicks in there. Ooh, alright. I love that pitch change right there. Alright, building to the chorus. Ooh. Oh, alright. Love that. There's a lot of snares in this background. There's like a lot of dance beats in this, like electronic sound to it. Mixed in snares in there. Alright, there's a lot of dance inside in there. And that's the ending of Twisted Wonderland. Alright, so that was the opening and endings of Twisted Wonderland, and I have to say, I think I like the opening more than the ending. Like, basically, the opening is just like in your face kind of thing, you know, basically it makes you want to go crazy and dance like no one's around, but I think the ending's kind of a step down from that because it really sets you up for what this anime is, and, you know, both songs are not really bad, you know, they're just two completely different songs, and you know you can really tell, and like basically involves a lot of snare drums in there, and you know basically like the opening sets the tone, but like the ending just shows like it seems everything comes from Riddle's point of view, which I think was very intriguing. And you know I love like how it feels like it's a military type of song, and like especially with all the snare drums in there and like all the synthesizers, like it's like a dance beat in a way, and you know it's very intriguing nonetheless. And you know I hope that they keep these opening and endings for season 2, because you know as you probably don't know, season 2 is already on the way, and there's also a 3rd season on the way, because apparently this show is gonna be running for 3 seasons. But you know I really hope that maybe they keep the opening number, because like the opening is like probably one of the greatest openings I've ever heard in an anime. And you know I've watched all of Attack on Titan, and you know all the openings for Attack on Titan are really good, but basically I know every season in anime has like a different opening and ending, so I don't know if that's gonna be the case for Twisted Wonderland. But you know if they just keep the opening number but they just change the opening, like apparently the 1st season dealt with Heartsabule, but season 2 is gonna be on Savannah Claw, and you know basically in the opening of Twisted Wonderland showed something that is gonna happen in season 2, and that's involving this sport that involves Savannah Claw and you. So you know I really hope that they really keep the openings of Twisted Wonderland. But you know I could do without the ending if they do like something completely different for season 2, as it's gonna tell a completely different story. But you know as for the opening, I think the opening is a banger and I really loved it. I don't really care about the ending that much. It's not as great, but you know it's not a bad song or anything, but you know they're completely different things. And yeah, I'm very intrigued by Twisted Wonderland. You know it's got great music to it and a lot of great characters, great world building, exciting, and you know, I can't wait to see what season 2 has in store for us. So thank you all so much for enjoying this breakdown and reaction to the opening and endings of Twisted Wonderland. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And if you want to see the full uncut reactions to all of season 1 of Twisted Wonderland, you can check it out over on my Patreon. The link's in the description down below. So thank you for watching this video, and until then, I will see you all next time. Bye!